Hi there, it's Marion Buck-Murray, and I'm back with part 2 of calling back your energy. So part 1, in that video, I talked about over-responsibility and how to begin to let go of it. In this video, I'm going to talk about control and how we try so hard to control things that we absolutely cannot control. When we try to control what we can't control, we end up wasting so much energy that could better be used in so many beneficial ways. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the way in which we try to control our own bodies. And it's a little bit tricky here because, we're taught or we think that discipline and sticking to a routine is super important in order to get the results that we want. So whether it's weight loss or anti-aging or doing something in order to build muscle or actually letting go of an illness. There are many ways that we try to control things in these processes that we actually don't have a lot of control over. So we do have some control, and that's important to know that, when we use discipline, we have control to have discipline, and we can use our own self-control in order to eat the foods that are most beneficial, do the exercises, and so on and so forth. What I'm talking about is more this sense of something's wrong and I have to control my body and I have to fix this. And so it's more of it's a constrictive way of approaching the situation. So you might be doing exercise, but it feels more like a chore or something that you just absolutely have to do. And if you don't do it, you feel bad about yourself. And this is all about controlling the outcome. You're wanting to control the outcome that you receive. And paradoxically, so often people who, I hear from clients that when they use these high discipline plans, they actually don't get the results that they really want because sometimes they resist and they actually fall off and don't do the routine, or just, I don't know, for other reasons that it's just not working for their body. And so what I'm suggesting is to approach physical health and self-care in a way that feels more nourishing and beneficial. So to really do the things that are nourishing and feel good and are beneficial and best for where your body is right now. We have ups and downs in our energy, and we get sick, we get older. There's so many things that are really kind of sometimes beyond our control. And so to approach the body in a way that doesn't feel controlling and doesn't feel like if you step off the line, you're out of control. And it's more about saying what is going to really nourish and benefit me so that I feel the best that I can feel. If you feel like you're aging and you don't like what you see in the mirror, but to just really say, okay, how can I nourish myself in the way that I best present as an older person and in what feels best to me? It comes back to you all the time. So letting go of control when it comes to your body and approaching in a different, kinder, more compassionate way. Now, the next way that I see a lot of my clients trying to control, and I'm guilty here too, is to try to control the actions and the beliefs and the thoughts and the moods and everything else about the people in our lives. So there's more or less control. But every time that you want to stop the way somebody's feeling, or um, maybe change their belief, or uh, advise them on what actions to be taking, that's trying to control. And sometimes we feel like we have to do that, right? Because if we don't do it, they're not going to do it. But this sense of control can get really into micromanaging. It can get manipulative. It just doesn't feel good. And it's a lot of energy that we're spending trying to change the way somebody believes or thinks or feels, which really, truthfully, we have no control over. And, there are situations where we become codependent and we might tiptoe around somebody's moods, but that is not a healthy way to be. And it also takes so much of our energy to be trying to control the outcome of somebody else's behavior. And so what I'm suggesting here is to let go of control and to realize that, what, even if it feels uncomfortable, that's okay. To let yourself feel uncomfortable when somebody's maybe doing something that doesn't feel right, rather than trying to control it. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't speak up when things aren't appropriate. Um, what this means is that you let go of trying to change how somebody um, behaves. And this is a really big one, and it takes a little bit of time, because sometimes we don't even realize when we're in that place of control. And sometimes it can be so subtle. Like, I might be in the car, my husband's driving, and I might put my foot on the brake because I'm sensing, oh, this is a little too fast for me. Well, obviously, my foot on an imaginary brake is not going to do anything for the car. And if I was putting my foot on the brake when somebody else is driving, that would be completely inappropriate, right? It could cause an accident. So it's really understanding, like, where am I using my energy right now? And do I really have control over the situation? Or can I approach this in a different way and make sure that my needs are met? So maybe asking, can we slow down? Or asking somebody that you're close to or that you're trying to control in some way, to perhaps say something differently or do something differently. You can always ask, but without that sense of control, and then let it be whatever happens, and allow yourself to feel the feelings that you're really trying to avoid. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the way that we try to control anything in the world. And so it could be politics, it could be what's, natural climate issues that are happening in the world. There are so many things that are happening in the world right now that can make us feel really helpless. And so to notice when you feel helpless, to just really notice that, and notice like what you grasp for in order to get some sense of control. What happens when you feel helpless and you don't have control? And how are you using your energy as a result of not being in control or feeling helpless? And so to begin to look at that and realize, like, you know what, there are so many aspects to this that I absolutely cannot control. However, what if there is one thing I can do or two things I can do? And so to take a step back so that you're not in that constrictive controlling, which then results in so many different reactions, but you're feeling a little more neutral and empowered because you have more energy to say, you know what, I can do this, I can do this, I can do my part, but I really have no control, and I can let go of that. And sometimes that's easier said than done, right? But It's a way to call back your energy. So stay tuned for part 3 in calling back your energy. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you soon.